Hello guys, once again welcome back to you all. Myself from Gujarat. Today we are going to continue our earlier section, means that tissue part 3. Before that we discussed the part 1 and part 2. If you are not visited, please go and visit that first. And now we are going to continue. Here in this video we will actually discuss about the animal tissue. But before that we need to learn something more about the left topic that we were not able to discuss in part 2. So we are going to start about first epidermis, which is related with the plant tissue. Epidermis. Actually, epidermis by its name only we can get somewhat clue. Actually, epidermis means just beside the surface. Means that we can say epi means upon or derm means the skin. Hence, we can say that epidermis is considered as the top or the topmost layer of plants. Hence, whenever we see that there is hard layer of substance present on the plant surface is known as epidermis. Now we are going to see about the characteristics regarding to epidermis. So let's start and see. Actually, there is a confusion that most of the students get when we go for the characteristic of epidermis. Actually, most of the students says that epidermis cell or epidermal cells are dead, but in reality they are not dead cells. They are living cells. So we have to pay attention over there when we have to think about their cells. Means that we have to always remember one thing, that the cells of epidermal cell, epidermis, is actually living, and even they contain no spaces between their cells, but there are certain small teeny pores like structures which we get to see in epidermal cells. Suppose this is what the structure of epidermal cell or epidermal cells. So we can see over there that there is certain thick, small, we can say that tiny pores are available over there, and even they are not only present in the stem or root, but also they are available in even on the top surface of the branches, leaves, etc. But in case of branches and leaves we will discuss later. But this is what the actual diagram of the cells that I show you all over here is regarded to or is related to this epidermal cell or epidermis of the stem. Now we are going to see about one another thing, is that whether they are presence of which substance is present which makes the, wait guys, yeah, now we are going to see about the type of substance which is present on the surface of the epidermal cells. Means that we can see here there is certain left spaces which I had left over here. So we are going to see which substance is fulfilled over here. Actually, whenever we are going to see about epidermal cells, there is the substance available, cutin. Don't get confused, because there are lots of substances when we will go and see about the another layered structure which is known as cork. There we can see suberin material, but here is the cutin material which is available, or we can say that it is a hard substance which makes the entire surface hard, and also it protects the outer layer, or it acts as a protective cover for the plant. And because of the cutin only, even epidermis is considered as hard part. And actually the cells of epidermal cells are living cells, and they are flattened in nature. As I told you, here we can see that by its graph that they are mostly flat in nature. And even one major thing that we are going to see about the function involved by epidermis. Actually, whenever we see epidermis, their main function is the gaseous exchange which happens in plants, and also they help in transpiration. Means that how they help in transpiration, whenever we will go through the epidermal cells available in branches or roots area, there we will see that these two liver, we can see here, they are as like liver cells which is available in animals. Here this area is known as stomata, and these two parts is known as guard cells. Guard cells. So by its name only we can judge that it works the function or it performs the function of a guard which is available in most of our area. So we can say that the functions involved by epidermis are as follows. First one, they help in exchange of gases and even they help in removing the waste material, as we already know gums and resins which are being produced as waste material from the plants, and also they help in the transpiration process. So is it clear to you all? Now we are going to see about the structure and the function involved by cork cells. Even it also acts as a protective layer. Actually cork is, we can say that cork is the parent of epidermis. How? Let's start. Actually we are known from the fact that our father, our mother or our grandfather, suppose our grandfather, means that our father is produced by, or we can say that, leave it. Actually suppose that we are child, now we are kid, after some time we will become father, and then after some time we will become grandfather. Like that process also goes on in plants also. At the beginning time, or we can say that during the beginning phase, the epidermis is available in plants, but later those epidermis, or we can say that epidermal cells, later they modified and they form the cork cells or cork layer. Do you know what is cork? You might have heard about the cork word even in chapter 1 when we discussed about the cells. There we talked about the cork and bark of tree. Actually let me discuss about cork first. Actually cork is considered as the hardest part, even more harder than epidermis, because by the process of differentiation, or we can say that after getting older and differentiated, we get the another organization, or we can say that another thing which is known as cork. And even the structure of cork is totally different from that of the epidermis, because after getting or after attaining certain ages, the cells of epidermal cells or epidermis gets died. Means that whenever they got died, they changes into cork cells. So we can say, yeah, cells are died, and even they do not contain any small tiny pore also. So we can say that they are totally fulfilled, and they contain another material which is known as suberin. Even there is certain differences between suberin and cutin. Even after you will see about one another layer which is cuticle or cutile. We can say anything, no problem. Cuticle, some of these people say, and some of the students or people say cutile. So no matter, actually cutile is the layer which is formed by the substance of cutin, whereas suberin is the layer which is only available in cork cells. So actually suberin is even more hard, and even it is a very good resistor of heat and electricity. So whenever we transport heat to the plants, they do not convert or they do not conduct that heat from one place to another. So is it clear to you all? And now we are going to see about the structure of the cork cells. Let me draw it. Here we can see that they are even also flat and irregular, but they do not contain even a small thick pore also. So they do not pass anything from themselves. So is it clear to you all, guys? And now we are going to see one of the most important thing which is being done by us, or which is going to be done by us, is regarding to the complex permanent tissue. Then we will see, and at last we will go through our main concept regarding to animal tissue. So last we are going to see about complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue. So we are going to start it. Actually, do you know, as in the beginning or in the part 1, I told you in the introduction only that complex permanent tissues are those tissues which contain cells of different types. Means that different elements of cells or different types of cells joined together to perform a similar function, they are known as complex permanent tissue. So we can say different types of cells, And even don't get confused whenever any person will ask whether the cells are differentiated or not. Yes, definitely the cells are differentiated. After differentiation only we get the complex permanent tissue. So now we are going to discuss about the types of complex permanent tissue. So is it clear to us? Only one thing which we have to deal about the complex permanent tissue is that they contain different types of cells. Now we are going to start about the types of complex permanent tissue. Actually, complex permanent tissues are further divided into two. First one is xylem. Second one, phloem. Now we are going to see about xylem and phloem. Actually, xylem is known by another name which is known as wood, whereas phloem is another name which is known as bast. Now we are going to see about the name only, why they are termed by another name. Actually, xylem had a characteristic or has a structure is similar like that of wood, and even in its wait guys, wait for a moment. Yeah, as I told you that most of the things that we see in our English life contains the names of their Latin words. Here xylem is considered, or xylem is named as wood in its Latin meaning, whereas in case of phloem they are also termed as bast by its Latin name. Now we are going to see about their characteristics and their types of elements present in xylem and phloem. So is it clear to us? Complex permanent tissues are further divided into two, xylem and phloem. Xylem wood and phloem bast. Now we are going to see each and every one very clearly. Now we are going to start first xylem. Actually, xylem is a tissue, not a cell. Don't get confused whenever anyone will ask from you whether xylem is a tissue or a cell. Even xylem is a cell also, but its element or its name is different. That we will see here only. Now we are going to start the xylem tissue. Xylem tissue. Actually, the complex permanent tissues involves the role of vascular tissue, means that they involve the function of transportation. Either I had not told whether it is transportation of plants, food, water or mineral or hormone. So we have to look only one thing is that whenever we will use the term complex permanent tissue, there we have to remember only one thing is that they always involve in transportation, or they are involved in the role of vascular tissues. Now we are going to see about xylem. Actually, xylem tissues help in the transportation of water and minerals content which is observed from the root or from the soil, which is observed by the root from the soil of the plant. So hence we can say that xylem tissues are involved in the transportation or in the vascular activity. Actually, vascular means that those tissues which involves in the role of transportation. Hence xylem and phloem both are termed as vascular tissues. Now we are going to see about the elements or the things which make this xylem tissue. Actually, xylem tissues are made from four different, what we can say, structures or elements. Now we are going to see first one. First one is vesicle. Wait guys, you might be getting over brightness. Wait guys, wait only just for a moment. I am going to close it back. Yeah, is it clear to you? Now are you getting you what I have written over there? Yes, is it clear to you? First one is vesicle. Yeah. Is it clear how the video call is coming? Is it over brightness? No. First one, the first element of xylem tissue is vessel. Vessel means that, let me draw the figure of vessel first. Second one, actually all of the components or elements are tubular like structure only, that we will see later. Wait guys. Now we are going to see the second element. Second element is trachea. Third one, xylem. parenchyma. And last one, xylem fiber. So now we are going to yes guys. Now we are going to see each and every one structure. Wait guys, wait for a moment. Yes. Now we are going to start. Each one by one we will discuss and we will go through their concepts. First about vesicle. What do you mean by vesicle, or how is vesicle different from these three structures? Actually, first we are going to see about as a whole something discussion need to be given. Actually, xylem tissue involves the three cells which are actually dead in nature. Why they are dead in nature? Actually, they are dead in nature because they do not only help in transportation but also they provide mechanical strength which is required for movement of the substances from one place to another. Now let me discuss about those elements which are dead in nature. Here first one, second one and third one. These three are dead in nature. And what will happen if all four cells are dead in nature? Suppose when all four cells will be dead in nature, then the xylem tissue will not perform its function, or we can say that the xylem tissue will also die. Hence, at least one cell is required in order to function properly. Their main function, where all three, the left cells help in the support, where all the three cells help in the support function, or we can say that they are supportive in nature. Now we are going to see about each one characteristic as a particularly. So let's start and see about the vesicle first. First of all, we will draw and we will see one diagram of all, then we will stand very clear about the nature and the wait guys. Yes. Yes. Here we can see that the nature of the vesicle is actually tubular or tube-like structure. Here we can see that both the ends of vesicle are open. Hence we are clear that they might be like a tube structure, and even they will help certain substances to come and go out from them. Now we are going to see about the diagram of tracheids. This is what the diagram of tracheids. Can you differentiate both the diagram? Yes, we can differentiate very easily. As here we can see that the ends of vesicle are more flattened, or we can say that thicker than the middle one. Whereas in case of tracheids, both the ends are closed and even they are thinner in nature as compared to the middle one or as compared to the between one. What is the reason behind this? Here I had drawn certain straciations, or we can say that bands like a structure, and whenever I am going to draw its detailed structure, there you will see what is available or what is present here as a straciation, or we can say a band like structure, and which are the things, how they help in transportation and how they are essential. Now we are going to see about the third one, which is xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma is just like simple. Here we can see that xylem parenchyma is living, hence we can say here a nucleus and even all the cytoplasmic things, or we can say that all the various organelles which are available in a cell we can see over here. What about xylem fiber? Even xylem fiber is also like that of tracheids, so we can draw it like that. Is it very simple to draw xylem fiber? So let's see the last one which I had drawn here. Okay, here look. Each one and one by one we will go through every element. So first we are going to see about vesicle. How vesicle is actually drawn. The small dots are known as pits. Hence, as I told you here in this diagram, you can't see properly which is what part and which is known by which name. This is porous region from which anything can pass easily. What about brackets? Here in case of brackets, we see that they also contain pits, but how they are useful for the brackets? Actually, whenever two brackets come in contact with each other. Let me draw it first. Here, suppose this is one bracket and this is another bracket. Both the brackets are joined here. Here we can see that as they are both the ends are closed, but whenever they come in close with each other, certain pits get penetrated off from this bracket and enter to the another bracket which is just beside the one bracket. Hence, they help in what? Exportation, or we can say that they also help in transportation. And even as I told you, both the three are dead in nature, so finally they help in the strength, or they provide the ability to work properly. Means that let me explain one more major thing about them. Actually, whenever all the three cells of xylem are dead, how they actually help, or how they help in supporting nature. Let me discuss it first. Actually, we are already known from the fact that the tissue xylem involves 4 elements. As I told you, 3 elements are dead. Actually, when dead cells combine together, how they combine together? By its structure only you will get clarity. Suppose this is what? Our stem. Mostly I am going to discuss about the stem only. Here we can see that this is what? Suppose this is our xylem. Here we can see that our vesicle is over here. Here we will see parenchyma is over here, and here last we see our brackets is over here. What about this fiber? They are justly located in between these spaces, and these three are just involved, or we can say that they are located just beside the parenchyma. And the main role of parenchyma is to control all 3 dead cells of the xylem vessel. So is it clear to you all? Now we are going to see about the phloem. So is it clear to you all? Now we are going, if you are having any doubt, so please ask me. And before that, let me draw one another table through which I can make you clear regarding to the differentiation between xylem and vesicle. Sorry, vesicle and bracket. Now I am going to draw a table, and by its table only we will differentiate both of them very easily. First one, vesicle. Vessel, sorry, I am repeating vessel, not vesicle. Actually, vesicle is somewhat different, that we will see, and we will see it later. Now I am going to tell you vessel and brackets. The first and the basic differentiation between these two is that the wait guys, wait. Yeah, the first differentiation between these two is that vessels contain more than one cell. As by its diagram only I told you, there the straciation, or we can say band-like structure, is actually vesicle. A straciation means that there is more cells available over there. But what about brackets? There is only one single cell, but they contain but they contains what? They contains more pits as compared to that of the vesicle. Now we are going to see about the another differentiation. As I told you, its ball is, means that ball of bracket is actually closed, whereas the ball of vesicle is opened. The last thing regarded to them is that brackets are thick in middle, whereas vesicle are thick at the end. And even one more major thing is that, wait guys, here when we go through brackets, there we see one another term which is lumen. Do you know what is this lumen? I am going to explain about lumen first. Actually, lumen is nothing but it is can be termed as cell cavity, means that the space between the cells. Here I told you in case of brackets they contain only one row of cells. But here in case of vesicle I told you more rows of cells are available over here. Here in case of suppose this is our bracket. Suppose I'm telling you not this is not the actual diagram of the bracket. Here we can see that the spaciations which are provided over here are actually one row of cells, means that they are one row, and whenever they contain one row, there the lumen means that the cell cavity available over them is large, whereas in case of vesicles they contain very less and very few lumen. So is it clear to you all guys? तो यहाँ से क्लियर है, मुझे कमेंट करिए. And now we are going to see about the function of one by one of. So function clear है? Sorry, once again I'm telling you. Wait guys. Now we are going to start about phloem. Actually, because of certain issues, I'm not getting proper contact with you because of certain reasons that you might have seen in this video. Now we are going to see about phloem, but here only we have to leave our this content because you all are not asking anything from me. And finally, one major thing that I'm going to announce is that most of the fluents had asked from me regarding to the result of class 10 2022, that I am going to announce today only. As live I will come and I will show you all. So don't forget to watch that video, and here only I am going to drop it, and in part 4 we will see complete this plant tissue. As I told you, I will upload 5 parts, so this is only third part, so don't worry about more about this. Here we are going to drop it, and in part 4 we will go through the whole plant tissue and we will see the epithelial tissue of the animal tissue. Now is it clear to you all? Have a nice day to all. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day to you all.